Huh. What do you know? The surfboard isn't part of her body. Thanks there, Herbie. But, alright, so Fantastic Four. Got back from seeing it. I'm just, I had no issues with it. All the rumors and stuff that people were saying, I guess that they did it with a lot of reshoots and doing a lot of stuff. A lot of it changed, so right off the bat, if anyone says this movie is like really woke, I use that term a lot. I didn't see it. So, and I thought it was fantastic. Is that right, Herbie? And of course we had to get this because he's a popcorn, a drink, and we got candy. I mean, you can see this here, you know, so I was like, why not? But we just missed out, obviously, on the Galactus head. I don't know if we could have got it the other night when we saw Megan 2.0, but I think they have Jaws maybe still, but we'll see. But, whatever. It would have been nice to have the figures all around it, but I wanted him the most, so he's really cool, and I like, he's awesome. But I'm glad they threw him in this. So Fantastic Four was great. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. Didn't have any issues with it. I've always been a fan myself of Fantastic Four. I still like those, you know, nowadays. People want to talk about the other ones, but I like the ones from the early 2000s. I thought they were great. I still think slightly the better cast, though, but these guys did a great job in this. Everyone did a great job in this, I thought. So, I know people say stuff about Pedro Pascal, but he's good at acting, and he was good at acting in this. So I think everyone played the characters right. People were saying so many things. The point is to go yourself and see it yourself. And I'm like, I didn't see any of the stuff people were talking about. They were gonna nerf Johnny. They were gonna have Sue be this. They were gonna. I didn't see it. I enjoyed it. I liked that it wasn't 100% like action packed. Like the opposite of Superman. Like Superman was like full of the action, but still had story. This one, I think, was like less on the action and then still on the story. And this is one of those ones where I think it was the character-driven thing instead of just being all the superheroes. I mean, it sure would have been nice to see if Johnny got a lot of flame-on action throughout the movie, though. But it would have been nice to see the other heroes, the other Fantastic Four, use their powers more. But I liked the story. I mean, you kind of got the gist of it with the trailer all the time, but it worked. It was emotional. It wasn't full of the herp-a-derp MCU humor constantly. This is like on the right track, I think, for them. Like, I think they should focus more on this, stop with the BS that they do, the agenda pushing, and just focus on story and character like he kind of used to do. And I think this was very well done. I enjoyed it. I like the 60s look to it and everything. I'm glad they threw him in there. I like the little thing at the end they gave to Jack Kirby. And I don't know. I like the early 2000 ones. I like the Roger Corman one. We don't talk about the abomination that was the terrible. They didn't do the thing that was terrible. I mean, and the one they did 10 years ago. That was an abomination. That was garbage. So it's nice to have Fantastic Four back again. Hopefully they can do well with Doom. Galactus was cool. I had no problem with the Silver Surfer-ette. I agree with Johnny. I don't know. I'd rather, again, watch a naked space chick flying around doing stuff, silver chick, than a guy, honestly. So, and she even said her name, Shia LaBeouf. So, I don't know whether the ending, how it went. It didn't go what people were saying, so unless they reshot that. It was nice, it was emotional, it was very driven. Everyone had, like, Vin Diesel liked this because of the family stuff there, but it really stuck home with that. I thought they were great chemistry together. Sue and Reed, great job, chemistry. It felt real to me. The whole thing just felt like they were all, like, very connected and woven. And emotions, like I was engulfed or whatever. I was like just there the whole time for the whole 2 hours. Great movie. I thought Fantastic Four First Steps. Nice to see the Fantastic Four get something good again and to get some love, and I hope it does well. Thank you there, Herbie. I guess we'll let you give it a shot.
I agree with you. The movie was amazing, and I think that it was nice to see, a superhero movie that's really character and story driven. It definitely had a little less action than you would see in nowadays superhero movies, but that's okay because it really engulfs you into the story. You want to see what's going to happen with these characters. And I do like the world building they did with the style that they chose. You don't see that really a whole lot. People are always like, it has to be the now. It has to be, it has to be realistic and all that stuff.
It seemed fitting because, the Fantastic Four. So 60, it fit very well.
It did, and I think that was perfect. They didn't have to try to put it, let's take a modern spin on it. I thought it was nice, and it's cinematically beautiful, I think. The whole backgrounds, the sets, even Galactus himself was pretty, even though Galactus didn't get a whole lot of screen time, he was definitely a menace. He had this presence that loomed over.
It was enough. I know you can only do so much, but what else would they want? Like, half the movie with him in it? Like, people could, it still seemed like it was, to me, I feel like the thing with the MCU they always had the problem with was their villains. A lot of times the villains just aren't that big and threatening. Like, you had, basically, the biggest one was Thanos, and everyone else just kind of, to compare to. That's why I look forward if they can do Doom right, because he'd be a great choice. He's a great villain. But I just don't know. I still think Mads Mikkelsen would have been the perfect choice. I know the Robert Downey Jr. one has a different version, but hopefully we can still get Mads. Get Mads to play Doom. That man is amazing, and he would do a great job with that.
I like the way they did to introduce the characters. I mean, we already know who Fantastic Four is, and I thought the way they summed up their backstory instead of just experiencing in real time, I thought that was nice and tasteful, and it was cool to see. Even though they're not going to get their own movies, it's cool to see them fight different villains. Do that recap.
I like that. They had the mole man or whatever, and then the little creature, and then the thing with the apes, the red, and then the little cartoon they had, and they at the end credits, I guess spoilers, it's not so they just show a little cartoon version of them like it's a 60s cartoon. That was cool.
So it's nice to see, just like you mentioned Superman, where they're already established. So it's a lot easier to get the story going instead of have to go through the pains and suffering of them evolving into the superheroes that they are. As you said, we've already seen them in other movies, basically, so everyone basically knows who they are. And if not, I think if this is the first time you've ever seen them, you can still get engulfed in the story. They give you enough to go on.
Oh, yeah, everyone was very well, again, like a well-knit thing there. I thought they did good. Again, that's why I would like for a second one, but I know they're going to go straight into the Avengers crap. Like, I still don't give a crap about Avengers anymore, most MCU. I just like to see another movie again, so we can get more of the character development, especially with, Ben, the Thing, because he always has such good arcs and stuff, and I'd like to see more of him struggling and whatever. I like the beard. That was funny. That was cool. I know they're kind of going out the comics, but, it'll take them a long time or whatever for it to actually kind of really get, but it was interesting. I don't know. I like that it was just focus on characters and just driven with that. I don't know, just kind of kept everything tight and emotional. And again, like I said, the 60s sets, the shows, Sue did a great job being a mom, the protecting thing there. Silver Surfer, I thought she was great. She looked good. Again, like Johnny, she looked hot, so I had no issues with that. She was good. I'd be flaming on all the time around that. And then Galactus he looked cool, like he had the big presence there, he looked big. They're like, I thought it was interesting that she was pregnant and she had the suit, so like the suit, I like what you did with the suit. It's like, oh, that's because he got bigger. I mean, it's bluer, not bigger, it's like, stuff like that. So it was there. I liked all the 60s nods. They had the Lucky Charms, they had a little figure. Walmart has right now like a little exclusive thing of Lucky Charms where you get that little figure inside it. I don't know if it talks, though, like it does in that. That would be cool. Then I would definitely be like, gotta get it. But everything was great. It was just funny. It was emotional. And I don't know. I really enjoyed it. But I've been a fan of Fantastic Four for a long time. And it's just, I feel like it's nice that MCU did something. I think they did it right. They did a great job with it. They handled it well, and I hope they continue to handle it well, honestly. I had no issues with it.
Yeah, I agree, and I hope if they do continue it, I really would like to see them just more a movie for themselves. I wish they would continue Fantastic Four just as a Fantastic Four. It's nice to see a superhero movie, especially the MCU, where it's just the characters for the movie.
Yeah, there wasn't, Spider joining in right now, or, someone else popping in, so that was nice.
And I like that it was basically the whole world loves Fantastic Four. Instead
Even
of
when things went bad, and then they still are stuck with it because of the little baby and all that. So it was nice.
Well, yeah, and I feel like, you know, even I was rooting for them, even as if they were part of our culture and society.
Well, yeah. Of course you'd be rooting for them. Unless you're in a legion with Doom. Get him, get him.
As you mentioned earlier, as he mentioned earlier, I thought they did a really good job on the characters. The chemistry worked. I did like the introduction of Herbie, because I don't know how people actually care for him, like the original cartoon series or anything like that, but or the comics. But I thought the way they put him in as basically kind of like unofficial fifth member of Fantastic Four was nice instead of replacing a character. So it was nice to get him in there. And even though you can't understand what he's saying, I felt like, you know, it's kind of like humanist, you know, kind of like a human, had some human aspects. And I liked when he was playing with the baby and everything, so that was nice. And how he was like, got to get the place all ready for the baby.
Yep, that was funny. See, there's funny stuff in there that wasn't just, you know, the stuff they do now where they just overdo it and it's just kind of like, eh. Let the whole thing fit. Like I said, I think all four of them did a great job. I was having my doubts because I'm just so used to the cast that I thought was great from the early 2000s, but they nailed it. They were believable they acted very well. So I don't know, when you hear like certain negative stuff and certain things there, for me, I didn't see like I can see maybe a few things, maybe some people, but I feel like it's still just nitpicky. But they did an amazing job, a fantastic job. The four of them were great. The story was nice. Just a slow, well-driven thing. Galactus was cool. Shia LaBeouf was cool. I liked that they were trying to translate and everything. I liked her backstory-ish type stuff there, so it worked, and the ending stuff fits. It all just comes together, and it's like, so that's how they're going to do this. I like the sacrifices and stuff made with powers and everything, and then with Franklin, surprise, and all that stuff at the end. I don't know, everything would just worked very well. It was just a nice story from start to end, in my opinion. Hopefully next time we'll get more clobbering time, though. But it was great. I had no problems. I'm just rambling on, saying no issues with it. Well, I liked it.
Well, how could you have issues? I think they gave each character justice and enough screen time that you could feel for them. So I think you should definitely check out this film. If you're a fan of Fantastic Four, I think you'll love it.
AC, because it's hot out, people. So hopefully you heard us enough. But yeah.
I think it's cool that the theaters are doing stuff for Fantastic Four and all the other movies.
There's a lot of things. I could have gotten all that stuff. I could have gotten all the stuff at the other ones, too. The other movies, too. Like, I wanted all the Superman stuff. I wanted all the...
Yeah, but it adds up so quickly.
They do a good job. I still want to get the Jaws bucket, but... We'll see.
I like that they had their own unique flavor, at least at AMC.
Oh yeah, then they had the flavors. We need to do reviews on that. I'm going to talk about him in another video, and the cool soda flavors. It was good. And we got, buckets and cups at least, so that's something. Fantastic Four gets a 4, and another 4, and then another that, I guess, from me. So yeah.
Definitely gets a high rating.
So yeah. Go see it. Go make your own opinions on these things there. I know how MCU can be lately and Disney and everything, but they did a great job on this. Go see it. It was great.
Definitely. I mean...
this is Superman. Great superhero movies this summer, finally. I haven't enjoyed superhero movies in years, and
yeah,
now we got 2 good ones this year, in my opinion.
So check them out. Try to find your local theater and support them.
So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think of it below, and we'll see you next time.